Hi, St. Matthew's friends. I'm Kelly Burbage, and are you guys ready for a story? Do you feel like the world is topsy-turvy? This is a story about a family whose world turns topsy-turvy when a new baby comes into their family. Tumbleweed Baby. Here are the children in the family, but if you follow the tumbleweed across the cover, you'll see one little girl with her arms crossed. I wonder how she feels about that new baby. New babies do have a way of making your life turn topsy-turvy. But I want you to be listening in this story for how all the children in the family use their gifts, their talents, to help their family adjust to the new baby. Tumbleweed Baby by Anna Myers. A long time ago, at the edge of nowhere, Texas, was a falling apart house, all filled with the Up Against It family. Mama and Papa Up Against It had 5 children, a biggish boy, a medium boy, a smallest boy, a not-so-big girl, and a littlest of all girl. All around the falling apart house there was nothing but sand, and oh yes, tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds everywhere. One day, when the Up Against It children were walking home from school, the biggish boy got knocked right over by a tumbleweed. "Looky here at that," said the smallest boy, and he pointed straight at a foot sticking out plain as day in the tumbleweed. "Stand back," said the biggish boy, and he got up off the ground. "I better see what's inside that weed." And so he found her. Right in the middle of that tumbleweed, he found a baby. And he pulled that tumbleweed baby out. "She's a wild all-over baby," said the littlest of all girl. "Put her back." "I like her smile," said the medium boy. "I like her hair," said the smallest boy. "I like her toes," said the not-so-big girl. "I just plain like her," said the biggish boy. "Let's take her home." And so they did. They set her on the floor of the falling apart house. "What should we do with this tumbleweed baby?" asked Papa Up Against It. "She's a wild all-over baby," said the littlest of all girl. "We can't keep her." Said Mama. "We'll have to study on that. But right now, we have got to give this baby a bath." The biggish boy went to draw water. The medium boy fetched the tub, and Mama got the soap. The tumbleweed baby did not care for baths. "She is sure enough wild," said Mama. Supper came next. The tumbleweed baby did care for supper. She cared for it way too much. Mama looked at Papa and they both shook their heads. "Give her another chance," said the smallest boy. "We can quiet her down," said the medium boy. The medium boy picked her up and the Up Against It family gathered around the baby. They sang a song to her about the tumbling tumbleweeds. All except the littlest of all girl, who didn't. When they were finished, they set her down on the couch, but she did not stay. "I'll read to her," said the not-so-big girl, and she got out her book about Dick and Jane. But the tumbleweed baby did not care for stories. "Maybe she's riled up from needing sleep," said Papa. "Let's turn in." Mama tucked her in between the two girls, but the Tumbleweed Baby did not care for bed. All night there was a terrible ruckus in the falling apart house. "We got to talk about this baby," said Papa. "Don't see as how we can keep her." "Soon as it's light," said Mama, and her voice was sad. All the Up Against It children felt sad too, except the littlest of all girl, who didn't. At daylight, they gathered round the table for the meeting. The biggish boy held the Tumbleweed Baby tight. "All right," said Papa, "say your piece." "She's a wild all-over baby," said the littlest of all girl. "We can't keep her." "But holding her will make me strong for arm wrestling," said the biggest boy. "She likes my singing," said the medium boy. "I can practice on her for when I get to be a radio singer." "Chasing after her will make me faster for races," said the smallest boy. "Getting her to like stories will be good practice for being a teacher when I grow up," said the not-so-big girl. Everyone looked at Mama. "When I give her baths, if you all grab a rag, the floors could be mopped in a flash." Everyone looked at Papa. "I don't know," he said. Just then, the Tumbleweed Baby leaned over to kiss Papa's cheek. "We got to keep her," he said. Everyone cheered except the littlest girl, the littlest of all girl, who didn't. Mama held the Tumbleweed Baby tight while they talked about a name for her. Papa liked Betty. Mama favored Joan. All three of the boys wanted to name the baby Linda. "Name her Sauerkraut," said the littlest of all girl, who did not like sauerkraut, not even a little bit. "We'll let her choose when she's bigger," said the not-so-big girl. So the Up Against It family did not name that Tumbleweed Baby. But they loved her, loved almost all of the wildness out of her. They called her Tumbleweed Baby. And when she felt too old to be called Baby, she chose a name for herself. She named herself Betty Joan Linda Sauerkraut Up Against It. And on that day, the day of the naming, the girl who used to be the littlest of all girl whispered in Betty Joan Linda Sauerkraut's ear, "I have a secret to tell you, sister," she said. "I was a Tumbleweed Baby too." I hope you enjoyed this story, Tumbleweed Baby. And maybe today you can spend some time with your family talking about your name. Who were you named after? How did you get your name? And you know what? Thinking about your name also might make you think about the day you were baptized. If you were a baby, you don't remember it, but I know that your parents and your family do remember it. What are some traditions around baptism in your family? Do you have a special outfit? Is there a special gift you might have received? If you were baptized at St. Matthew's, then you received a candle. Do you light that candle on the anniversary of your baptism? You know, I've heard Pastor Eric and Pastor Rebecca say many times a quote from Martin Luther. He said, "When you wash your face, remember your baptism." I hope you enjoyed Tumbleweed Baby. As you can tell, it's one of my favorite books to read. Remember your baptism today. Hope to see everybody soon.